via the B final. Sean Butcher will only go forwards, in my opinion, from row 13. Stephen Letts, likewise, qualified on the front row for the pre-final. Starting on the front row, for the final last year, Stephen Letts. Then had a bit of an incident. He's on the outside of row 14. Then it is Harry Platten next along, 19th in the X30 Euro Series from Etienne Shelley, who had a DNF, which has spoiled his chances of a good grid slot. Then we have Max Solander and Ellie Goldstein, and then Morgan Porter, 9th in the X30 Euro Series this year, alongside Piers Lehane. Those two qualified well for the pre-final, but both unfortunately both caught out in incidents. Guillaume, who's your money on?
A lot of names, actually. Pretty much the entire top 10, as we've discussed just before the building of this, up to maybe 8-9 different names that could actually play a good part into the win into this senior final. This is the first of 6 rounds to come before we conclude this beautiful day of racing. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we've been expecting for more than a week. This is the IAME International Final, getting into its most anxious part. Definitely certainly the most exciting races for all the drivers involved in those finals. Just 34 names on the grid, the 34 best drivers out there for each of the categories, starting with the seniors. 14 years of age is the minimum required to enter this class, which is highly considered as one of the top classes into the IAME categories, along with the super in terms of engine. But in terms of intensity, in terms of names and quality of driving, the senior is really a class that's worth watching for. At the moment, the formation lap is underway as Chris just went into this impressive list of names forming the top rows on the grid. Harry Thompson will be starting from the left side on the track, the right side of your picture. Alongside him, Charles Ternier. Look out for Joey van Spluteren. Is a previous winners for many years. One of the top names is in this category. Disadvantage being on the second row on the inside of the track. On the way to turn number 1, we've seen that it procures to so many drivers such a big advantage compared to the right lane of the grid. And certainly this right lane full of drivers is more than aware that a start will be crucial to make his way into that very difficult turn number 1. We're going to be good to go, Chris, for 21 lap, and at the end we'll have our first champion of the day in the senior category.
Well, pick a number and that could be the winner. This is going to be a very difficult one to call. This the IAME International Final for X30 Senior. 21 laps ahead of us and we're off away in racing. Harry Thompson leading us down towards turn number 1 for the first time. Joey van Splinteren has gone into second place. Going into third is Thomas Turner as they come out of the first corner. Going into fourth place, I think, is Nicola Pico. Oh, almost a little bit of contact there between Charles Tenier and Elliot Harvey. Joe Turney's come up to 5th place. Caden McQueen is up to 7th place as they make their way in towards turn number 4 and 5. Reese Viveret is behind that as they come through the chicane and now down towards the banking. It's getting a little bit congested in the midfield, but at the front a nice clean start from everyone and we're all going round nice and safely out front. That is your leader, Harry Thompson, from 2nd place. Joey van Splinteren down towards turn 11 for the first time, and there's a change for 4th in the background. Charles Tenier goes down the inside of Joey van Splinteren, now Thomas Turner, now Joe Turney trying to make his move as they exit the last corner. Elliot Harvey is in there as well, so your order across the line then, it's Thompson, van Splinteren, Pico, Tenier, Turner, then we have Turney, Harvey, McQueen, Viveret and Victor Oberg up to 10th place.
1 lap completed. This is the longest race of the week, and Harry Thompson had a good getaway in front of Joey van Spluteren, but the battle is on already for the lead, and van Spluteren knows that he has to get past the British driver as soon as possible to prevent himself from being passed for Nicola Pico and Charles Tenier. Charles Tenier, who didn't have the best of the start in 4th, is going to try to make up the ground he just lost as he was starting on the first row of the grid. Out of the banking, corner number 9, we see some move further by Reese Viveret getting past Caden McQueen for 8th position, just a bit further back. You have confirmation on your screen.
Oh, and a change for 4th.
Well, change for 4th indeed.
It was Joe Turney, trying to make a move there, and I think he's gone into 5th place. So that was a change for 5th, going past Thomas Turner, and Elliot Harvey's gone through as well. So Joe Turney said one to watch. He's there in 5th place now, trying to chase down this lead group. So Harry Thompson is leading the way from van Splinteren, and 3rd place Nicola Pico, going along very well in the early stages of this race, is the Strawberry Racing driver. driver Charles Tenier in fourth place. A little bit of a lonely fourth at the moment as Nicola Pico now dives to the inside of Joey Van Splinteren down at turn 4. So Pico, what a performance he's putting in the early stages of this race. He's now up into second place. Pico in front of his home crowd. Pico staring at a potential race lead now as we head down the back straight for the third time. How is Van Splinteren going to respond to this, I wonder? Is he going to work with Pico, or is he going to try and take that second place straight back from him? He's going to go for the lead, Nicola Pico. So Pico hits the front then, coming out to the final corner. We have a French driver in the lead here at Le Mans. Nicola Pico leading the way as Harry Thompson's on the grass going in towards turn 1. Joey Van Splinteren goes to the outside, and Van Splinteren now takes the lead. Harry Thompson and Pico, they're still not finished with each other here. What is going on in the final? Charles Tenier, oh, and it was always going to end in tears. Pico off, Thompson off, Tenier off. Turney's gone up to second place, Harvey up to third, and Thomas Turner up to fourth. Well, it was always going to happen, Guillaume. They were just fighting far too hard with each other, not giving each other enough space, and it's not surprised to see that three of them have ended up on the grass.
This is a huge drama and ton of event happening into the opening laps of this final, and three of the biggest names out there fighting for the win and already out of contention. But look who took advantage of that situation in the lead. Joey Van Splinteren, and further back we have in second place, this is Joe Turney in second position, being chased at the moment by the 291 of Elliot Harvey.
And Elliot Harvey.
And there he goes as well for second position, diving into the corner number 1. Oh, a bit of wheel banging over there, I think, from Turney, who's been getting past by Elliot Harvey. Now in second, looking over his shoulder, who's in fourth position. This is in fourth, indeed, the 224, Thomas Turner in fourth. These are the drivers now to keep an eye on, as we lost three of the biggest names in the field, Tenier, Thompson, as well as the others further back in the field. We're going to try to follow the recovery race for these three names. But what a drama in the previous lap, as we have a warning flag for Nicola Pico. Indeed, that seems a bit logical, as Pico was really pushing very hard in the lead. But him and Thompson had a bit of really wheel banging at one point out of the turn number 1. And it ended up in such a disastrous situation for the three of them.
Well, the lead is coming down, by the way. Elliot Harvey has just gone past Joe Turney, and he's pulling in race leader Joey Van Splinteren as they make their way down the start-finish straight. Is Joe Turney going to work with Elliot Harvey? Yes, I think he is. He did not look to make a move there. He looked over his shoulder at fellow Brit Thomas Turner. We've got a Dutch driver out front and three of the Brits in chase as we go through turn 2. Ravenscroft is then in 5th. Defending champion Hodgson is 6th, and he's just set a new fastest lap as Oliver Hodgson. Mark Kimber from down the grid is up to 7th place. It's a brilliant drive from Mark Kimber. Then we've got John Norris in 8th. Caden McQueen is 9th, and Reese Viverette is 10th, as the lead now down to less than half a second between Elliot Harvey and Joey Van Splinteren. Onto the back straight we go. Elliot Harvey a little bit unlucky to have started down the order in the pre-final last year. He finished 16th in the final in the end, now chasing a potential race lead. What a difference a year makes as the Dan Holland Racing driver out the last corner. Is this the lap? He is going to take the race lead of the IAME International Final. He's got the run going in towards the first corner, but Joey Van Splinteren had just about shut the door. I think the banking could see a change here, or will we see one at turn 2? Van Splinteren having to defend there. Harvey trying to look for the cutback. Don't forget about Joe Turney as well, and Thomas Turner. We haven't mentioned him enough, but Thomas Turner driving very well. He's there in 4th place as well, as we head down to the banking now for the 7th time, and Elliot Harvey's got the run. Is he going to look to the inside? Van Splinteren defends. Well, what an intense race this is so far, and we've got Ravenscroft closing in. He's only 1 second behind these guys.
Yeah, let's pay attention to Ravenscroft as well, as we have 4 names in the lead at the forefront. On your picture, this is very close in the corner number 11, but still Van Splinteren is able to secure first position from Elliot Harvey. Still very, very close, less than 1/10 of a second, and Ravenscroft is closing in very fast as well behind. Look at him on the left side of the track, diving into turn number 1, but Van Splinteren is able to hold on the lead, but for how long? And Ravenscroft is getting past for 4th on turn A. Beautiful move around the outside of corner number 1 in front of Thomas Turner for 4th. 4. Beautifully
Oh, and
made.
side by side for the lead. Elliot Harvey dives for the lead down the inside at turn 3 and takes it from Joey Van Splinteren. At the same time as that, Clayton Ravenscroft, I think, have gone through to third place past his teammate Joe Turney. Going up to fourth place is Thomas Turner as they come down towards the banking. So Elliot Harvey into the race lead from the outside of row 2. But look at the lead group. It now involves Oliver Hodgson in 6th, Mark Kimber in 7th, and John Norris in 8th as a change for second place. Ravenscroft now dives through to second place. Clayton Ravenscroft, who had a bad pre-final, started from the outside of row 4. He's now working his way back forward and could get into a potential race lead as well. Just giving the think sign there to Van Splinteren, and Ravenscroft, I thought he was about to take the race lead going in towards turn 1 there, but more drivers could be getting involved in this lead battle as Charles Tenier is in 9th place. Nicola Pico also in 10th with the likes of Vivaret and Seem Liedmer just behind him, as well as Xavier Hansheim, and we're side by side, are we, for the lead? It looked as if Ravenscroft tried to dive for the lead, but Van Splinteren has gone to second. Harvey still leaves, but for how long? He's got a lot of defending to do here on lap number 9 at Le Mans.
Just 9 laps completed, and this is a fantastic piece of racing. This is the final, ladies and gentlemen, in this senior class. And at the moment, we have Elliot Harvey battling with Joey Van Splinteren still very close. And look at Ravenscroft coming in
Couple
very
of changes,
fast in
Guillaume.
third.
Sorry.
And changing as well further back in the midfield, I think, on the top 10.
Yes, Oliver Hodgson past Joe Turney.
It's happening further back in this forefront of the final. Let's have a look at Joey Van Splinteren is diving around the inside, going onto the apex in turn number 1. It was very close for Van Splinteren to take the lead, but it's not happening yet for the Dutchman in second place. Third place, Ravenscroft looking over his shoulder to see where Turney is. It's just in 4th position. Look at the list of drivers that we have at the forefront, all battling for what could be a potential podium. And a warning flag for Caglioni, the 258, as we had previously for Joey Van Splinteren. So it seems that the marshals think that Van Splinteren might be a little bit too aggressive in his maneuvers down in the corner number 8. This is the banking. Such a good opportunity.
I think we've had a change for 4th place there. Mark Kimber's just gone past. I think that's Thomas Turner, is it? As they come down, but we've got a change for lead. More importantly, it just happened ahead of our picture, and there is Van Splinteren into the lead ahead of Clayton Ravenscroft now, who's dived through to second place. Just going to give you an idea of how close this race was. We had about 3.5 seconds between the top 18 drivers on track as they come in towards turn number 1. It's now Van Splinteren, Ravenscroft, Harvey in 3rd place, Kimber is 4th, then it is Turner in 5th, Hodgson is 6th, Turney is 7th, Tenier 8th, Louis Westover is in 9th place, and then in 10th place it is Seem Liedmer as they come through turn number 5 for the 11th time. That's Hodgson we can see on screen now. He is just ahead of Joe Turney. All of them have gone past Thomas Turner. Turner on this lap has dropped down to I think around 7th or 8th place. So through the chicane we go and onto the back straight. Turner now at the back of the lead group. It goes all the way down to about 8th place as we head in towards turn number 11 for the 11th time of asking, and more moves being made, I believe, in the background. So let's bring you the order then as they come across the line. We're about halfway through this final, ladies and gentlemen, and Van Splinteren is leading the way from Ravenscroft, Harvey, Kimber, Hodgson, Turney, Tenier, Turner. All of them in that lead group, all 8 drivers split by less than 1 second.
We're more than halfway through this final, ladies and gentlemen, and Joey Van Splinteren is still having the upper hand, but for how long as Ravenscroft is closing in? He's never been so close, less than 1/10 of a second at the moment between Ravenscroft and Van Splinteren, 1 and 2 respectively. 3rd place for Oliver Turvey in 3rd, then we have further back Mark Kimber coming back from behind, as well as for Oliver Hodgson in 5th position. Those two, one are getting involved, that's for sure, in corner number 9. Hodgson on your picture, just in front of Joe Turney in 6th. Charles Turney is not far behind. This is impressive recovery from Charles Turney. Further back, a change as well.
That's Joe Turney going past Oliver Hodgson.
Yeah, beautifully made from Turney in front of Hodgson as we get back on the start-finish line, entering the 12th lap into this race. 12 lap completed, the 13th, and Van Splinteren still shutting the door, but around the outside goes Ravenscroft. Fantastic move indeed, but look at Van Splinteren fighting back in the exit of corner number 1, and there he comes back Van Spluteren in the lead. But
Elliot Harvey.
And there he goes.
Down the inside for second place. I think that's Elliot Harvey taking second. It is. Well, Ravenscroft tried a brave move around the outside there, but Harvey's move was just as good. Down the inside at turn number 2. Now he's into second place. Van Splinteren still leads and was going defensive there. So Ravenscroft down to third place, and it's Kimber in 4th. Joe Turney is 5th. Hodgson still in 6th place as they come onto the back straight. Then it's Thomas Turner, Tenier, Liedmer. Then we have behind that, I think, Louis Westover as well as they come in towards turn number 11. Harry Thompson, by the way, has now joined the back of this lead group as Oliver Hodgson goes past Joe Turney. Those two have swapped places more times than I can count as we can now head down to start lap number 14 of this race. Van Splinteren and Harvey, there they are, 1 and 2, but there's a whole queue of drivers just behind. The top 11 split by less than 2 seconds now as we head through turn number 2.
This is really final material that we're witnessing here in Le Mans. If you're joining in, this is the right moment as Van Spluteren and Elliot Harvey are on the right. And very hard explanation, but this is up to a 10-driver battle that we're having on the track at the moment with Ravenscroft in third place. There he goes, trying at least to get around the inside of the banking, but it's not happened yet for Ravenscroft, still in third. We're going to keep following closely as they make their way around the back straight line. Van Spluteren trying to increase his advantage of 0.2 of a second at the moment. Second place for Elliot Harvey, still securing second, and John fell back behind. Oliver Hodgson, look at him, increasing the pressure of Mark Kimber, and we have a gap building actually. Mark Kimber in 4th, securing and defending on Oliver Hodgson, trying down the inside.
Oh, contact! Hodgson and Kimber make contact down at turn number 1, and Hodgson has gone through. Well, Kimber's going to drop 2 places out of that. Turney's gone through as well, so Hodgson up to muscle his way through quite literally, but he's now into 4th place as they come through turn number 5 and in towards turn number 6. It's still Van Splinteren, Harvey and Ravenscroft as we work our way down towards the hairpin. Are we going to see a change of lead? Harvey dives to the inside and takes the lead away from Van Splinteren, but runs wide, and now Ravenscroft hits the front. Had to go around the outside at turn 10, but Ravenscroft into the race lead then down towards turn number 11. Hodgson diving to the outside. Oh, and Hodgson's gone over. Hodgson up and over. I think Harvey has gone off as well. Ravenscroft is in the lead. Now Turney's in the lead. The pair made contact. Van Splinteren is going to hit the front down the straight. Look at it. It looks like we've just started the race. I can tell you Hodgson is up and out the car and safely walking away, thankfully. But Joey Van Splinteren is leading the way. Turney is there. Oh, and more contact. Mark Kimber now running wide. And Seam Liedman now making contact as he runs wide as Joe Turney retakes the lead at turn number 5. This has got to be one of the best races I've ever seen. Joe Turney now hitting the front. Van Splinteren in second. Thomas Turner is third place. 4th place is Tenier. Well, what a crazy lap. There was, and there's more contact. Thomas Turner's gone off. Thomas Turner's gone off and Van Splinteren's gone off as well. All of a sudden, Joe Turney has broken clear out front. Second place is Charles Tenier. Third place is Clayton Ravenscroft. It's all chaos out there. And 4th place is now Harry Thompson. Harry Thompson's all of a sudden in a position where he can get on the podium once again. Liedmer is 5th. Kimber 6th. Then it is behind that Westover, Hansing, Van Splinteren. And then in 10th place, we have the likes of Stephen Letts, who's gained 18 places. Etienne Shelley's gained 19 places to run 11th.
Who could have expected such a situation? Harry Thompson is in 4th position, Tenier in 2nd. It looks like in the opening stages of this race that everything was lost for those two drivers and they're back in contention. We followed Thompson battling in 4th between himself and Ravenscroft, chasing down the driver in 3rd position. These are the two British drivers battling for what could be a podium finish in this race, but look out just behind for Sim Lindba in 5th position, making their way onto the straight line on the other side of the track. This is a fantastic battle as in the lead. Joe Turney is capable apparently of building a gap of more than 0.6 of a second, making his way onto the start finish line. There he goes, being encouraged by his team. Second place for Charles Tenier, half of a second between Turney and Tenier in second. There, this is the battle, the 3-driver battle.
Turney's run wide at turn number 1 there, and a mistake from Joe Turney's going to bring his lead right down. Has he got a bit of a problem? I saw him looking down at the engine. I hope everything's okay with him for his sake. but his lead has been quite literally halved. It's now 2.5 tenths when it was over half a second. So all of a sudden, just as we thought the battle for the lead may have been finished, it is now back on. 5 for the lead once again. 1.4 seconds between the top 5 at the start of this lap. It's probably going to be around 1 second this lap. You've got a quick view of the size of the crowd we have in today enjoying this race. Behind the top 5, we've got Westover, Kimber and Hansheim. Westover has gained 10 places. Hansheim also gaining 10 places in this race as we're about to start lap number 19. Up to the line we go. Turney leading the way. He cannot afford one more mistake here because Charles Tenier is closing in, and he's not alone. He's got Ravenscroft with him, Harry Thompson with him, and Seam Liebman with him as well.
We're less than 3 laps away from the checkered flag, ladies and gentlemen. This is hammer time for Charles Tenier if he wants to grab that title of champion on home soil for the Frenchman. Could you imagine such an achievement there? To do that, he has to get past George Turney and prevent himself from getting past from Clayton Ravenscroft in third position. These are the two battling for second on your picture. Entering the banking, I think for the back, Thompson and Sim Ledma are battling as well. And Ledma is getting through now. Thompson is back in third position. Beautiful battle at the moment. And look at what's happening further up for second. There's a change indeed with Ravenscroft getting past Charles Tenier. Yes, he does. In the chicane, this is incredible at the moment as Ravenscroft is making his way in second position. We're less than 2 laps away from the checkered flag, and there he goes, and very unhappy about what's happening, Ravenscroft.
No. Well, no, that was a clear signal from Charles Tenier. I'm going to work with you here.
Yeah, work together. That's what they have to do to chase and maybe close in on Joe Turney, your leader, the pole sitter, and the driver in the lead at the moment. This is less than 2 laps to go before a checkered flag, and we have still 3 names to give you even more. As Harry Thompson is in 4th position. Slim Ledma, the 2 drivers on the screen at the moment. Who could prevail in this late stages of this race, Chris? This is certainly one of the most intense battles that we've seen for long in the IAME series. This is the senior final up to conclusion. At the moment, Joe Turney seems to have the upper hand, making his way into turn number 11. We are going to enter the last lap of this race. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelt because this is going to be a very exciting last lap.
Yeah, it could be the 2 teammates head-to-head out front. So Turney has a lead of just under 0.3 of a second from Clayton Ravenscroft. Tenier is in 3rd place. Harry Thompson in 4th place. Seam Liebma in 5th place. Ravenscroft getting closer and closer with every single corner. Joe Turney's going to have to defend surely down at the banking as Clayton Ravenscroft pulls him in with every corner. Through turn number 5 they go then, and the lead is now less than 0.2 of a second on the final lap. This is the final lap of the international final in the X30 senior class, and they're going to fight it out for the lead behind. It's going to be a 2-way fight because Tenier has now started to defend from Thompson and Liebma, but which of the 2 teammates is it going to be, if any? Turney defending, Ravenscroft looking to the outside, Ravenscroft going to the switchback. It's going to be a drag race to the line surely out of the final corner. Ravenscroft to the outside, but I think Turney's done enough across the line. Turney takes the win by 14 thousandths of a second from his teammate Clayton Ravenscroft. What a finish, what a race, what an event, and what a drive from that man there, Joe Turney. Standing ovations all round. That's a very deserved win and the best race I have ever seen.
Joe Turney is your new champion in the IAME International Final in senior class. Incredible race, ladies and gentlemen, here in Le Mans on such an incredible location. That's the least we could expect in this race. Take a good breath back, Chris. It has been absolutely
Going
active
for a lie down
from start to finish. And what a final lap. 14,000 of a second between Turney and Ravenscroft. This is a 1-2 from Britain crossing the line. 3rd place on home soil is Charles Tenier. He was so close to grab that title that he won it so desperately.
French driver on the podium, though.
Yeah, beautiful achievement, that's for sure, for one of the local heroes
he
in
was
this
12th
class.
last year, Charles Tenier, so a brilliant performance.
Yeah, definitely as well for Harry Thompson, 4th at the end, as it was as well very close to grab what could have been an impressive achievement as well for Thompson. But after what happened in the opening stages of this race, recovering so many places all the way to top 4, this is actually hat that we have to take off to Harry Thompson as well, to Charles Tenier, third and fourth respectively. At one point in the race, we thought that everything was lost for those two drivers, but they managed their way into the top 4 positions. So brilliant as well from Slim Ledma in top 5 at the end. John Norris just out of it in 6th position, 7th place for Stefan Letz in front of 2 of his fellow countrymen from Britain, Louis Westover and Mark Kimber.